Hello and welcome to the Questions for the Angels channel with me, Victoria, and today's guest is Linda Howley, who's also an angel. Would you describe yourself as an angel channel? Because you make angel jewelry. Linda made this beautiful angel pendant, and you're also wearing the silver one, and you make all kinds of amazing angel jewelry. And one of my friends who's clairvoyant, she saw this and she said that energy is really strong from this. She said it's really heart opening energy. And she said the woman who made that must be like channeling.
Yeah. Well, I think I do channel because I ask very many questions before I come up with a design, and before I choose, like with my own pendants, I do, you know, a lot of research, but a lot of it comes just intuitively. So, and I've never learned channeling, but I guess that's what it is. You know, I tune in, and play around with what, you know, the feelings that come up, and mostly the gemstones I use are completely just chosen because they look to me like that angel.
Yeah. So what is the question that you'd like to ask today?
Okay, so I'd like to ask the angels. I've had a lot of times in my life where, well, not a lot, but when they do happen, they're devastating. So I have times when, like recently, I met up with some old friends who I hadn't seen for a long time, and the response I got, the vibe I got from them, and even verbally, was really kind of, you know, I just didn't connect with them. And then there was some sort of quite nasty remarks from them, which I found really disturbing. And of course, I can't say anything clever back, you know, to kind of cover myself. I just go,
oh, so it's like they punched you or something.
Yeah. Yeah. So I just, you know, and I just like to know what the angels feel about just staying in your power and not letting those kind of things upset me as they do.
Yeah, I'm sure that's going to be a question for a lot of people. It's sort of a mean girls thing, but it's also a mean boys thing. I guess it happens to everyone, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay, well, let's just tune in and find out.
Yeah. Okay.
Greetings to you, to all of you, and especially to you. We love your questions because, as Victoria has said, it is not an uncommon event for human beings to feel hurt when they're not received in a loving and enthusiastic way by other human beings. And we feel that it is important to give this question the respect that it deserves, because we sense that for many of you, it is hugely important that you not just it is a complex issue, for it is not merely about your happiness and your being received in a positive way for yourself, but you also have a strong desire, which is possibly the stronger desire, to be a source of joy and to uplift other people. And so this is actually where the bad feeling comes from. It is not really your personal injury that causes the bad feeling. It is this sense of having somehow failed to raise the energy, raise the vibration for everyone else. And so if somebody responds badly, it is, oh, I've done it wrong. It would be as though somebody came for an angel channeling and said, oh, that's rubbish. I hate your angels. They're terrible. Go away. And we possibly would not take it personally, but that is only because we are not persons. So we don't have this kind of relationship. And we can see, perhaps from our vantage point, from our perspective, we can see more of what is happening in the lives of these other people. And we can see where they're going as well as where they have been. So it is as though we have this advantage of being able to see their timelines. And sometimes you, having your incredibly beautiful and very strong energy of love and compassion, you can trigger some unresolved issues and unresolved hurt in other people. So it is not that you, Linda, are causing affront or are personally attacking these people in any way, because you do not attack them, but because you are holding a vibration that is a reminder of where they are not. They sense the where they are not. So it is as though, to use an analogy, if you arrive driving the most beautiful car in the world and they're driving a car that they feel is a heap of rubbish, they will look at your car and feel bad about the one they have. Does that make sense? So this is a thing that human beings do a lot of, is this comparison between what you have and what I have, and what I have not and what you have especially. So they're seeing you being very, very serene, not just visibly serene, but also energetically serene. And they're seeing you somehow very calm, very tuned in, very at peace, very beautiful, very joyous, very vibrant, all these things. And they're feeling the opposite in themselves is coming to the surface. And this does happen a great deal with human beings, but it is not necessarily a negative, because as we see it, it causes you all, when it happens, to question where you're at and to question what it is that is the discomfort. And quite often the discomfort is it's like the little pebble in the shoe that causes you to buy new shoes, or to take off the shoe and examine the foot, or to look deeper, or to explore, or to try to move forward or expand your life. So if your lives are very, very samey, very comfortable, quite often you are just happy to stay that way, and you don't feel any need to grow or evolve, because why bother? So if they come along and they meet you and you're exactly the same as they are, and you are perhaps annoyed or frustrated with your life, and you're complaining a lot and saying how terrible everything is and how awful, tragic, how much despair you've been feeling, or how unhappy you are, and with a big sad face, they can look at you and think, well, that's okay. She feels like shit. I feel pretty good now. So it is this feeling of like superiority, or perhaps the comparison can be done the other way around, where they begin to feel good about themselves just because you feel bad. And they can feel maybe a little superior because they can perhaps decide that take pity on you and maybe even try to help you, which also raises their sense of importance, sense of being powerful. because they're able to then look down at you a little bit and like sort of like condescend to you. So the fact that you are not in any need of repair, that you are so happy, can be a tremendous source of irritation. But this irritation is the little pebble that pushes people along. So you are a catalyst for change. You're a catalyst for self-inquiry, catalyst for perhaps shining a light on some uncomfortable places in people's lives. And this is something that you have elected to do. It is something that is part of your path. Whether you are conscious of it or not, just because you are the light shower, the light bringer, you are very, very strongly bringing through a lot of light. And light does show the dark. That's what it does. It shows the dark places. You shine a torch in a messy cupboard and you see all the mess. So this is your job, part of your job. And it is, if you can reconcile yourself with the fact that you are not doing anything wrong, you're doing it exactly right, and that you are showing people that it is possible to be serene and radiant and happy and vibrant, even in the circumstances that they are finding themselves in. They can look at you and think, well, okay, so we hate her, she's a bitch because she's happy, but at the same time, maybe we can learn a little bit from her. Maybe we'll copy her a little bit. So that sometimes takes a bit of time. People have to sort of step back and look and then think and then try something new. And so this may be something you may remember from school, perhaps. A lot of you have had this experience in school, that there are some children who do really well at school and pass all the exams, and there are some children who don't do so well, and they get annoyed with the ones who do well, and then they look and go, maybe I'll steal their answers or I'll copy their papers. So it is a little bit like this. So it is important perhaps for you to also be quite selective in how you socialize, so that you know when you are socializing for the benefit of other beings. So socializing more as a way of working. So it is as though you are sort of a teacher, a leader, and you're just going to go into some social situations sometimes, and you're going to show people how it's possible to be. But at the same time, you're also going to have a lot of respect and care for your own well-being and happiness. And if you feel that it is not pleasant for you, you can always back off and you can choose different people. So choose to then be around people who are having an uplifting and joyful and life affirming, and also not just life affirming, but also affirming you. So affirming everything that is beautiful, everything that is positive, everything that's joyful. Perhaps people who are also interested in your work and who love what you do and who are delighted to see you and who light up when they see you. So this is the important part, is that you can use this energy of joy can be your fuel. And then sometimes you can choose to share a little bit of your joy with the ones who are not so joyful, but you're doing it consciously.
Yeah.
And knowing that you are really very protected in this situation. So there's no need to feel unsafe. And you can sense your own energy very well. So you're very sensitive to energy. So you can sense when you are being affected. And when something is lowering your energy, there is no need to stay. So it is just for you to understand what it is that is happening, and that you are not doing anything bad or wrong, that you're actually helping people to see some things they may didn't want to see. But at the same time, it is important to take care of you and to make sure that you feel that your energy is being supported. So we would sense that you may not necessarily want to choose to spend too much time in these situations, unless you develop perhaps a different perception of the situation. So perhaps if you were sort of more curious about, I wonder what will happen here. Like, what will happen when I show up? So it's more a playful, adventurous, curious approach, so that you're not vulnerable in the situation.
Yeah.
So you go in kind of knowing what to expect, and also interested in knowing how you might shift some of the energy just by showing up. But of course, it is not necessary for you to show up physically. You're showing up in your work and doing a beautiful, absolutely magnificent job as you do. So it is not in any way necessary for you to put yourself in uncomfortable situations. That was a very long, wordy answer, but we do have.
It's lovely, and I just really love that. The first bit that you said was, you know, that the disappointment is because, you know, my intention was just to be friendly.
Yes.
To bring light.
To bring light.
And I failed to do that. I didn't please, you know, I didn't please anybody by my presence. And that was just, you know, I guess it's a bit of ego there, but it is like, and that's lovely. And I really, really liked, I really feel better now. And I love the feeling that, you know, you go into those situations sometimes when you know they're your loving friends. You have nothing, you know, you don't have to have a shield, but then you said, you know, there are certain times when you might go into situations that, you know, are a bit, you know, murky or unsure, and bring the light, just bring the light, and know that you are bringing the light, and that's all you need to do. You don't need to be. That's lovely. I'm almost in tears now. That's beautiful. Thank you.
I'm so delighted to have been able to answer your question and to have been able to shine a light.
Yeah. I feel a lot more clarity now. Thank you. Thank you, angels.
Thank you.
Thank you, Victoria. Have a lovely weekend.